All right, we are live.
Oh my god!
So exciting.
That took us here, like the stress, but we're here.
Yeah, we had a bit of a chaotic time setting up for the stream, but now we are here. So we're so excited to have you guys for this. We were so excited when we came up with this idea because both of us do monthly resets. We both love goal setting. So we were really excited to bring a goal setting brainstorm to you guys.
I know, and I'm so excited to talk to actual people because I don't know. I'm sure you relate to this too, Brielle, but like I feel like there's certain people that I see in my comments all the time, and I just want to have a conversation because I feel like we just are on the same vibe. So I'm super excited to see who shows up and then have conversations and be able to like put input on each other's goals and stuff.
Absolutely. And Amina and I have been already kind of chatting about our 2024 goals, like our strategy going into it, how we feel like we need to make adjustments from last year. So we've been brainstorming and we're excited to like do a little workshop today.
The first of many, hopefully, because this is like very much a trial, see how we go. Because I know you've done streams, and I did too with you for your writing channel, but this is a lot different. So because there's no sprint, just goal setting.
Yeah. So welcome in. I see some people are trickling in. If you want to like introduce yourself in the comments. We're going to get started in like a minute or two, but yeah, we're basically going to be discussing and brainstorming our goals. We have some questions and prompts for you guys. So it's going to be really fun. Really excited to chat with you guys about all of this.
Do you want to share with everyone what you're drinking? Because all I have is water.
Oh, yes. I'm drinking some hot cocoa. We have the seasonal vibes going. I'm in like a hot cocoa era of just being like absolutely addicted. Oh my God. Hey, Eduardo.
Oh my God. Is that what I think it is?
Thanks so much for joining on this. Oh my God. So fun. We're doing good. Very excited for this.
I'm so glad you're here. I was not expecting you to come from the writing channel.
Yeah. Welcome. So happy to see you. So yeah, we're just getting settled in.
I am happy to report I just came back from grocery shopping and I got hot cocoa. So now I can be.
Oh, hell yes.
I've been saying since like, I feel like September 1st, that's like, okay, now even though it's hot where I live, it's the season for it. But I don't know why I'm waiting so long for that. So
yeah,
to be able to have some hot cocoa.
So while we're all kind of like gathering in, I feel like we could get started chatting a little bit about how we're feeling about 2023. So Amina, you want to kick us off?
Sure. So 2023. I feel like I did pretty well in terms of my goals, but I think that there wasn't enough prioritization. Like I felt like I was kind of all over the place and not really, and kind of treating all goals as equal. So I feel like there's a lot of things that I would change moving on to the next year, but we're going to talk all about that later. But overall, I feel good. I feel like I was better than how I was last year with my goal setting. I felt like last year I kind of put goals that didn't necessarily relate to me as much as I felt like it was just something that I should put, if that makes sense. You know, like what I need to do to be that girl or something like that. So I feel like 2023 was more catered towards me and my goals and what I want, and not just what's necessarily trendy or what looks good aesthetically and all that stuff. So yeah, totally. For next year, I feel like I learned a lot this year and I'm ready to bring that same energy to 2024. What about you?
And before I talk, just want to put it out there that if anyone wants to drop in the chat their response to this question, so like, what do you feel like you did good last year? What do you want to change? This is like kind of our intro, but in terms of how I feel about 2023, I also feel like I learned a little bit about not just setting random goals and really being intentional with what I was picking, because yearly goals, they're for a long stretch of time. So I feel like it's so important to make sure that it aligns with what you're actually prioritizing in your life now and building on that, as opposed to just setting like what you said, goals you think you're supposed to have, like drink more water or like go to the gym every day, if that doesn't matter to you. So yeah, I think every year you get a little bit closer to setting goals that actually mean something to you and actually align with your priorities. So that's definitely something I think I changed.
And I also feel like that it's okay to have goals and they not necessarily work out, and you kind of realize throughout the year, like, hey, that doesn't resonate with me, because even if it doesn't, you get closer to what you like, where you want to be and stuff like that. So even though you like just kind of throw things to the wall and hope something sticks and you're just kind of figuring yourself out, I think it's still fine as long as you can recognize it and not just keep moving forward with goals that you don't care about.
Totally agree. Also,
Like,
thank you so much for this sweet chat comment, Eduardo. We appreciate it. And we're so glad you enjoy our streams.
what kind
Okay.
of goals do you have, Eduardo? Because we talked a lot about writing. For those of you who don't know, he comes from the Brielle's writing channel, so we gotten to know each other a lot. But I would like to know your goals beyond writing, and
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. I would love to hear that too. Okay, should we like jump into workshopping a little bit?
I think we should.
Okay, amazing. So, guys, we've been super professional and we prepared slides for this. So that's super exciting. We kind of already touched on this, some of our reflections from last year.
Mhm.
Another thing that I think I want to change this year was honestly just being unrealistic. I think my 2023 goals were really ambitious and honestly way more than I could realistically do in a year. And I also don't think I focused enough on what I can actually control because I set a lot of goals for things like money or YouTube growth that at the end of the day, I can do as much as I can, but they're not fully in my control. So I think that's a bit of a flaw in my goal setting strategy last year. Anything else you want to add to this section, Amina, before we move on?
Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing for me is probably like about just being able to recognize what is the most thing. And I talked a little bit about that, but now I guess I can go a little bit more specific. Like, I feel like my goals, I had a few different categories and areas that I wanted to focus on. And one of those were like health and wellness and fitness and all that. And in the grand scheme of everything, like that should be the most important for me. Like, I want to make sure I'm healthy. I want to make sure I'm active, eating and drinking the things I need to. But like, I felt like I was kind of treating it all the same. Like, to be honest, I don't feel like my Spanish language journey is as important as exercising. So I felt like I was kind of being like, okay, here are all my goals. Let me just make sure I'm kind of splitting it up evenly, making sure I'm working on it evenly. But being able to recognize, like, yo, this is most important. Even if it's not the most fun for me, like, I need to take fun out of it and be like, what's going to actually benefit me the most? So I think that's a huge one that I need to do better on.
Totally resonate with that. And also, like, guys, if you've just joined, recommend grabbing maybe like a notebook or like even a notes app, your Notion page, whatever you want to like write things down in, because we are going to get into the weeds a little bit and do some brainstorming. So definitely grab something you can write in, I would say, before we get into the rest of this. Eduardo says he started his PhD this year and is pretty happy with how it's going. I hope things will be even better now that I'm done with the mandatory courses and will have more time to focus on my research. Amazing. So glad that you had a good 2023 starting off your PhD. And exciting stuff going into 2024. We love to see it.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Okay, so the next thing that I feel like we all should do some thinking about is what do we want to really prioritize this year? AKA, what is your like biggest or main goal? So we're going to start off kind of thinking about that. We'll take like a couple minutes just to think about it, but if you could only set one major goal or focus for the year, what would that be? So everyone go off, do a little brainstorming, and then we're going to discuss in the chat. So once you come up with it, drop it in the chat and we'll talk about it. Sound good? Okay. So we're going to take like 2 minutes if everyone wants to just like brainstorm for a bit, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right. Should we keep it short and sweet and talk about it? Is everyone feeling ready?
Do you want to start us off, or should I go?
Sure. So my main overarching goal for 2024 is, I don't know if it's vague, but I guess it kind of is, but it is make working for myself a viable option. And I chose the wording for that very specifically because I don't think it's necessarily that I need to be working for myself by the end of the year, but I just want it to be more of a legit possibility by the end of the year. Like, make some progress where it's seeming more feasible. What about you?
Well, I think for me, it's probably just like the health and fitness thing because I slacked so much on it this year. Like, I feel like it's like the most important thing, but I put probably the least amount of effort into it. So I don't know specifically what that looks like, but I definitely want to be better than I was this year. But I will say I'm better this year than I was that last year. So at least it wasn't like no progress, but just not what I envisioned. So I think that's the biggest goal.
That's good. I love that. And yeah, it's kind of exciting when you are able to set a goal that you do have years of progress slowly gearing up towards, because it really feels like you're capitalizing on that momentum. So we love that. How about everyone else? Do you have a main or overarching big goal for 2024? Can be anything. It's okay if it's still rough and you're not quite sure.
Yeah.
But even if it's just an area of your life.
And I feel like reflecting on this year is what helps the most when it comes to that. I don't know if you guys have like also made 2023 goals and that is like a good foundation to go off of. But for me, that's what I did. I feel like sometimes we think we need to be brand new the next year and then we need to like make something completely different and reinvent ourselves. But there's no need for that. I feel like sometimes that's like something that I see a lot on social media, like how to be brand new or how to change your life or something completely different. And I also felt like I did this a little bit during the resets where I would think that I need to make something new and not repeat certain goals, but there's no point in doing that. Like if it resonates with you now and it's going to resonate with you in a month when it's 2024, then just do it. There's no shame in that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I actually think recycling goals can be really powerful because you start to build confidence the more that you are able to stick to it, Like, consistency builds confidence, which makes you able to accomplish more. So, oh my God, hi, Alana. So, Alana wants to solidify her budget this year and be consistent with it all year.
I felt that.
Yeah, I felt that too. I love that. That's really amazing. Welcome into the stream. So happy to see you. Madison. Hi, Madison. Welcome. I'm moving for grad school next year and I'll be there for about 6 years. So a big goal for next year is to really create a home there and a strong sense of community. I love that.
Okay, but can we talk about that? Because me and Brielle are also in the similar situation with like moving and trying to find a new home. So we are all in this together because it can be really daunting. So sending you good vibes and energy, and I hope you can find that community because sometimes it can be scary to move to a new place.
Oh, absolutely. And to make it feel like home is not easy and it takes time. So yeah, I think that's an amazing goal, especially if you're going to be there for 6 years. It's like, that you're going to be settling in there. So I think it's an amazing, ignore the thumbs up. Not, I don't know why that's been happening. Shout out to Apple for that weird update, but I think that's a great goal. Oh my God. Hello. Welcome. We're so happy you're here. We were so happy to hear you were coming. How do you pronounce your name? Do you know, Amina?
Girl, I have no idea, but we see you. Always see you commenting, and we're like, when you said in Brielle's video that you were going to be there, we're like freaking out. So we see you, girl. Welcome.
She said she is continuing to explore cycling. Ooh, I started taking cycling classes because Brielle posted once a ClassPass code, and that's how I started. Of course, this includes building other healthy habits. This made me so happy. I'm so glad that you've been liking ClassPass and cycling. But that's amazing to be focusing on your health this year. We love that.
I believe in us. We can do it.
That's so awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. There's a possibility I'll be able to spend some time abroad in the US for my PhD in a year or two. Hopefully these plans will be solidified in 2024. Oh my God, the US? That's so fun. That's really exciting. So hopefully you'll see whether that's going to be in the cards for 2024.
I would love to study abroad. I remember when I was in like doing my undergrad, I thought, but then COVID thought bigger, so I did. But do you know where in the U.S. you would go, or where you would prefer to go? Because so many different places that are very different from each other. But
Oh yeah,
congratulations
too.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Hi. Oh my God, I
Hi.
you as well. Welcome.
So many familiar faces. This is so fun.
Yeah, we're so happy to see you guys here. We're just talking about what our like big goal is for 2024. So if you have any ideas, feel free to drop them in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So excited to see all of you guys here. Okay, so I'm thinking we move on to our next little prompt.
Yes.
Amazing. Amina?
Okay, so what theme or word do you want to set for the year? And I think it would be fun to consider working off of your main goal. So just brainstorm, think about it. What would be like a good overarching theme to take into the new year?
Yeah. And nope, it doesn't have to be linked to the main goal, just to be clear. But if you need somewhere to jump off of, that could be a good place to start. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Hi, Celine. Thank you.
Oh, Celine.
We love you. We appreciate it. All right. So like, let's just think about this. I don't think we need a lot of time, but like just take a minute to brainstorm.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Shall we get chatting? You guys can keep thinking as we discuss, but what are we thinking? Amina, do you want to go first? Kick us off.
Okay, this is going to be hard because I really have been struggling to think of a word for the new year. I kind of thought, like, maybe not a singular word. I probably still need to think about it, but maybe a word that helps, like, encapsulate embracing change or being flexible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know a word for that. So I think I'm going to have to keep sitting on it, maybe wait for my New Year's reset so I can have a good word for it. But this is kind of hard, right? Like, I don't know if you have one yet, but
Embracing change and being adaptable.
Yeah.
You could do something like fluid or like, I don't know if anyone has any suggestions.
Yeah. Something that sounds like, ooh, you know,
right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a little sparkles and like, oh yes, like that's the word. But I don't know. But what about you? Do you have a word?
Yes, my word is romanticize.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm really trying to focus on not being so future oriented and just kind of enjoying whatever stage I'm in.
Okay.
So that's why I want to focus on romanticizing the whole year, like my time in LA, my new time in Seattle, like everything and the whole journey that I'm on. So
I like that. I really like that.
And I think it's a good pair with my goal because my goal is a lot more like hustle focused. So I want my theme to be more intentional, sweet, etc. So it's more balanced, you know?
Yeah. I like that.
Amina, do you want to read the comments this time? Give my break.
So Alana says, my word would be intentional. I want to be intentional with my time, money, and energy. And I love that so much because you're also talking about like the budget. So that literally goes hand in hand. And I feel like that resonates a lot with me as well. With also, I need to work on my budget as well because I feel like I have them mentally, but I don't really keep track of it until it's too late. So I really like that.
Yeah. And I love being intentional with your energy. I feel like we don't think about that enough.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot I was the one reading. I was like, okay. Madison said, my word would be warmth. It's the energy I want to bring to my home and relationship. Oh my God, that sounds so wholesome. And I really love that.
I love the word warmth. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I think that's amazing. It just like gives you a cozy feeling even
It
just hearing
does.
it.
And I feel like it can go into like so many different areas. Like I love so far both of your comments like are very like can encapsulate so many different areas. Like the energy part also of the last comment, because I feel like sometimes I put too much energy in things that's like, girl, what's the point? And home and relationships, I feel like that's like one of the most important things. So I love that. Very wholesome.
And really aligns with your goal of like trying to make a home in the new city you're going to be in. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's perfect. Perfect match.
You guys are really killing it. Have yet to find my word. Okay, maybe by the end of the stream I can try my best to find a word and like stick with it, because I like how it can go into more than just one. So like I already talked a little bit about like my health and wellness goal, and then also change something else. So like finding a word that can go with that, and also maybe in like little tiny areas in my life that I could probably just copy that word and be like, oh, if stuff's getting hard, remember my word.
Yeah, like a guiding sort of concept.
Yeah, helps you focus.
Okay, cool. Feel free to keep dropping your words in the chat, but I think we'll carry on.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing that I want us all to do is just pick a couple categories or areas that you want to set goals in. So just to give you an example, I think mine last year were like YouTube and social, health and fitness, personal and lifestyle, and then money and income. So it could just be like 3 categories that you foresee wanting to set goals in. So I don't think we're gonna like take some time for this specifically, but if you guys want to brainstorm while we kind of chat about it, feel free to. Also, we got one more comment on the theme. I mean, if you read it out.
So I'm not totally set on a theme, but I want to better understand myself and how to work with my brain instead of against it. That is so like grown up of you. Like I feel like that the first thing that came up to my head about that was like emotional intelligence and like how important it is to like be able to understand why you're feeling a certain way, why you're reacting a certain way. And I really like that. That's like very big girl of you.
Yeah, I love that too. Okay, so let's think about categories. Maybe we'll take just like a few seconds because I haven't thought about this yet.
Girl, I waited for this brainstorm to brainstorm. So
oh, wait. We got one more. Okay. I don't know if it's solid. And also, guys, don't worry about it being solid because that's the whole point of this, right? Like you can just throw out ideas that are half-baked. That's totally fine. Go ahead, Amina, read it out.
I don't know if I stole your prompt. Like, aren't you reading the prompt? So
no, this is from last prompt, so
okay. Yeah. All right. IDK if it's solid, but something like blossom or blooming. My health journey being in my workout era being 25, started back school after some time off, etc. Honestly, I love that. I feel like sometimes it's hard to like be able to, I guess, like you said, blossom or bloom or just grow and stuff when you have so many areas in life that you would like to see a change in. And sometimes it's like some might give for the others to be able to excel and stuff. So being able to like prioritize all that, like your workout, your health, and all that stuff, and just let that blossom into a beautiful flower. It'd be hard sometimes. So I love that. And didn't you have a similar word, Brielle? Like,
I can't believe you remember that. Yeah.
Of course, I'm a big fan.
My word for 2023 was blooming. And honestly, I loved it because it's like, it's such a soft way to say like growth. You know what I mean? Like it's a very romantic kind of word, but it can also mean kind of growth and working on yourself. So I fully support you using that word. You should totally do it.
And that's like the type of words that I was telling you, like the words that have a little bit of like oomph and sparkle and shine to it. That's like instead of growth, blossom. Like right? Like I want a word like that. Like flourish.
Yeah. That's gorgeous.
Love it.
Love it. Okay, we have the first input on categories. So finance, YouTube, fitness, and friendship are definitely on the list for me. Oh, I really like that.
I love how there's 3 F's in it.
Oh, yeah.
Alliteration. So
I love that. I'm going to have to take a minute to think about this because I think I want my categories to change from last year for sure. Yeah, maybe let's give it a minute to brainstorm. I didn't think we would take a gap, but I need a minute.
Yeah, let's take a Okay. I feel like my word might be security. It doesn't sound
Ooh.
fun and flourishy and whatever, but I think I like that word. So I'm gonna sit on it, but just wanted to give you guys a real time update.
I like that. All right. Shall we discuss? Shall we discuss? I still only came up with 3, and I think I'm gonna need at least 1 or 2 more. But I'm
Okay.
feeling pretty good about what I have so far. So
You
I'm
want you want to start?
sure if that's chill. So instead of YouTube and social, I'm gonna name that category full-time creative journey.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to think broader, especially now that I'm doing the writing channel and other like little branches of trying to diversify my income. I
Uh-huh.
want to be able to include all of that.
Yeah.
So that's that category. And then I think I'm going to do wellness instead of health and fitness so that I can also include like mindfulness type of stuff in that category.
Mm-hmm.
And then a third category I think I want to do is romanticizing my life. So that will make sure that I'm sticking to my theme for the year. And then I can set fun little goals like reading and like
Yeah.
self-care. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I need some more stuff to round it out, probably something related to like money or being a responsible adult.
Yeah.
But that's what I have so far.
Those are good ones.
Thank you. Oh, we have some fun ones in the chat. Okay, Alana says personal, professional, and financial. Ooh,
Mm.
I really like that breakdown.
Yeah.
My broad areas are school, fitness, and hobbies.
Ooh, love points around the hobbies. Don't forget to prioritize your hobbies, guys.
Hobbies are essential. Me and Amina are literally hobby, like, what's the word?
Like enthusiasts.
Enthusiasts. We are like big fans of the hobbies. So I
Yeah.
like those. I think those are good areas. Oh, and Brielle, I've watched your main channel video about your coffee nook. Now I know how you're making all these delicious looking cups. Oh my god, I love that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, that coffee cart has been a game changer.
It's so
Ooh, and honestly, mental health, specifically setting goals related to dealing with stress and self-care.
facts.
I think that's good. I think it's important for everyone to have a really personal focused section of their goals to really like make sure they're not just striving for things, but also taking care of themselves. So
And it's gotta be like well rounded. You can't just always be like striving for like things like that give you outward like get like how do I say this? Like external stuff instead of like internal stuff. So
yeah.
I love
Yeah, I think that's amazing. And I think we could all use some goals to minimize our stress. I think that's going to be a focus for me this year too.
yeah.
I have an Etsy shop as well. I'm trying to diversify the diversifying wave.
I'm on that too. Like I know that being able to diversify sources of income and other stuff will also be a priority for me next year, but I was thinking for my words so far, I only have, because I was thinking about like security, right? Like financial. So that's why I feel like, oh, related to the diversity aspect. And then also, I feel like I'm stealing some of you guys' ideas, which I freaking love. But the security also in terms of like the change I was talking about earlier. And I feel like that has a lot to do as well with like mental health and not freaking out, because I tend to do that a lot with when I'm in a situation where things are constantly changing. But curious to know like other ways to put security, like how security can fit in as well. But I love how everybody's like talking about different areas and how like now that we're talking about goals, I can like see, oh, because you mentioned that or because you mentioned that. So
Yeah,
really,
it is fun. So are those the categories you're thinking so far, Amina?
for like yeah, financial, also YouTube, right? Like I would like to diversify probably in terms of like where I post. Like I do think it'd be fun to take my Instagram a little bit seriously. Like I have it in my description box, but I don't upload it. I haven't uploaded it in a year and like posted on it, I mean, and I want to turn it into a bookstagram. So I want to do stuff with that. Also Pinterest. I talked about in my resale a little bit. I want to do more about that. So I think that's like what I'm gonna focus on in terms of YouTube. I don't know. Like I feel like a lot of the same things a little bit, because I'm looking at my Notion from last or this year, and I have language, knowledge, health and wellness, finances, relationship, and YouTube. And
Ooh.
I feel like I can think of a few things that I can put in each of those categories, but I also think it'd be fun to maybe make something a little bit new or just maybe tweak and replace a little bit. Because for example, knowledge, it was read 15 books this year. Girl, I like doubled that. So I'm like not gonna put that. Thank you. I'm not gonna put that.
Where you put that as knowledge.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Maybe I just want to sound fancier.
Yeah, I think even if your categories are staying kind of the same, even just rewording them, like mine are
Yeah.
pretty reworded from last year, just gives this feeling of like freshness, you know? It gets you excited a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
We got some more comments. Oof, I almost forgot I'm getting my associate's degree in 2024. That's so exciting. Congrats. And she said she also, security in relationships is something I would love to feel this year.
Relationships or something.
Yeah, that's so true. That I think that needs to be a focus for me this year too. So maybe I need to find a category for that. But this is just a jumping off point. We'll keep thinking about this.
Yeah.
Amina, you want to bring us into the next little prompt?
Yes. So, do you have any tips you've picked up for setting goals? We don't have to really take moments for that, but do you want to start us off, Brielle?
Yeah, I mean, I have a few, right? Because I've been goal setting for a long time now. I've done over a year's worth of monthly resets on my channel, so I think I kind of know.
Yeah.
I've learned, I would say. The
Mhm.
biggest thing for me is don't expect a 180 behavior shift from one day to the next. Like, I think this is where people go wrong when they're just setting like a New Year's resolution that's really ambitious.
Okay.
Is like, if you don't work out at all now and you're trying to work out every day, not gonna stick. So
Yeah.
I'm a big believer of baby steps up the ladder, and also sometimes your goals need to build throughout the year. So maybe you want to get to the point where you're exercising every day by the end of the year, but you shouldn't expect that from yourself the whole year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something I'm trying to work on, and a mistake that I made last year, honestly.
Because it's hard to build new habits. So like
It is.
it can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna work out every day when you haven't even like walked in a year.
Yeah, exactly. And another little tip is just to prioritize the goals that you can control or largely control.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's okay to set some goals that you can't fully control, but in general, I think it's better to just save yourself the stress of setting goals that you can't totally impact.
Yeah.
So those are my tips. What about you? And if anyone has tips, leave them in the chat, or just things you've learned about goal setting in general, please leave them in the chat.
I think for me, like I said earlier, was to prioritize them, have them from least to most important, and not just in terms of like, what do I really want to do? Like, for example, YouTube is such a fun hobby for me. I love it. And I kind of did really good this year in terms of consistency. And like, that was a big thing I wanted to do last year. And like I'm glad I'm consistent now, but that wasn't and shouldn't be the most important goal over like my health. So I think being able to prioritize is really important, and not just pick and focus on whatever is like the shiniest and most fun goal. Like think about your general well-being. I also think it would be good to have checkpoints throughout the year. So I feel like filming monthly resets forced me to be able to have checkpoints. And that's probably why I did a lot better this year than I did last year. And I think that if I wasn't filming these monthly resets, I probably wouldn't have been as successful as I am now with completing these goals. Just because I'm not trying to come on here every week, every month, and be like, "Hey guys, so I didn't do it." You know, I'm not gonna embarrass myself like that. So I think being able to have like consistent check-ins, whether it's monthly, weekly, quarterly, is really important, and that just kind of goes around also with like thinking about like reflecting and thinking about why you didn't complete a certain goal, because I feel like, and me and you talked about this on the phone the other day, like how we think like goal setting is kind of a skill, because you can't just throw out goals and be like, okay, let me just say what I want and hope it happens, because we all have goals and things that we want to achieve, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen like tomorrow. You got to be realistic and think about why did you not achieve certain goals like that you didn't last year. So for example, like me with goals with exercising, I'm so capable, and we're all so capable of completing our goals. But like, if you're not really thinking about why you didn't do it, and you're just gonna put the same goal next year, it's not gonna do anything, because you're
Yes.
like, not, something has to change, whether it's the goal itself or you need to change, or you need to just be more realistic with yourself. So I think those are my biggest tips when it comes to making goals, because they can be hard. It's not just what you want. Because let's say we all want $100,000 in a month. It's not realistic to just do that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you got to do like a lot of like thinking about the circumstance surrounding why you're probably not achieving the goals that you set.
Mm-hmm. And this is kind of related to that. Do you want to read them out since it's your
Yeah.
prompt to me?
So I think, oh no, I try to think of common mistakes we make. It's easy to make goals based out of things like insecurity. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And I feel like, was this also a conversation that we talked about the other day, right? Like me and Bria were talking about how certain times, like let's say you make only like New Year's goals and you don't really reflect throughout the year, or you're not willing to make adjustments. And let's say winter is like not really the best time for you to make goals. Let's say you have, maybe it's gloomy outside and you have seasonal depression and you're not really in that mindset. You're making goals with clouded judgment, like, oh, to complete things that maybe it's not going to resonate with you again in the summer or something like that. So I feel like being able to think about, why am I setting this goal? Is this something that's an insecurity? Is this something because it's the moment I'm in right now, whether it's mental health or some other circumstances? Like, what is the reason? And is it going to resonate with you in the next month, 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I also told Amina that I struggle with this kind of freak out at the beginning of the year where I just kind of panic and I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm not as close to my goals as I want to be. Like, I need to get crazy ambitious and make this the year.
Yeah.
And that happens to me at the beginning of every year. And then I think I become very unrealistic because I get overly ambitious because of my little freak out moment.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to check in with where you're at the beginning of the year so you can set realistic goals, but we do have a lot more in the chat. So like, let's start.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. The biggest tip I found is being realistic with my goals and giving myself grace. Also, keeping my goals physically written somewhere I can see often, like my desk, which resonates a lot with what Brielle just said as well. And giving yourself grace is so important. If it's like the end of December and you're just focusing on how, like, oh, dang it, I didn't complete all these goals and I'm discouraged and now I don't feel like I have confidence in myself, then it's going to impact your goals moving forward.
Totally agree. And I love the idea of keeping your goals somewhere physically. I think I made a video about this like way back when, but I
900 subscribers?
yeah, the 500 subscribers. I used to have a paper just pasted on my wall with the number 500 when I was trying to get 500 subscribers. I think it's so powerful because it's so easy to just forget what you're striving for if it's not easily visible. So I love that idea. Okay, Madison.
Okay, one thing that's helped me a lot is instead of just saying yes or no about meeting a goal, I try to actually journal about my goals each month and explore the nuances of it completing them or not. That is so smart. Literally, reflection is so important, guys. Like, if we're just like constantly in the go mode and just always looking forward and not analyzing what happened and why certain things happen, it's going to be hard to correct yourself and be like, okay, this didn't happen because of this. So let me do better next time.
I totally agree. And it goes back to what you were talking about with analyzing why a goal may not have worked for you, because it's not always a personal failure. Sometimes it's like it was the wrong goal for you. You don't actually have the motivation for it, and you should just get rid of that goal entirely. Or sometimes you just didn't give yourself enough time to reach it. So I think it's really great to reflect. And that's something I want to integrate more this year, is maybe doing like quarterly reflections.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Oh, and also being okay with adjusting, tweaking my goals as needed. It's more about keeping me on the right track / journey, not just checking something off the final destination, in my opinion. Absolutely. I feel like sometimes people don't like want to scratch off a goal because, oh, I made it in the beginning of the year, so now I have to complete it. But if it's not resonating with you, girl, there's no point. You don't have to prove yourself to yourself. Like, if it doesn't hit the same, if you don't care about it, scrap it. Because honestly, we only have so much time on earth. Like, there's no point in wasting time with goals that we don't care about.
Yeah. And also sometimes you don't realize that a goal is unrealistic till you're halfway in the year and you're like, damn, I really need to like manage my expectations with this. So I totally agree. And even if you don't reach that goal, chances are you're going to be a lot closer to it by the end of the year than you were at the beginning, right? And that's still something to like celebrate.
I need to be mindful of not moving my goals at all times. I wanted to reach 1K subs on YouTube this year, and I did that, but I almost beat myself up recently about my YouTube progress. Yep. Honestly, I feel like it's good to not like hit a goal and like be proud of yourself, celebrate it. Like be proud of yourself for your accomplishment and not like look for the next thing. But it's so much easier said than done. And I feel like something that's really like humbling when it comes to goals, and probably also YouTube specifically, because it tends to like, it's a numbers game, right? Like if you can like be like, oh wow, do you remember when I had 10 subscribers and I had 2 viewers and how excited I got? Like, look at me now. Like, I feel like it's really important and it helps you stay grounded instead of always looking to the next thing, because then you'll never really like, then when will you be happy? Like, it's hard for that.
Totally agree. And this is something Amina and I talk about personally all the time, because I think it's a struggle for every creator. You know, you hit a milestone and suddenly your expectations go up and maybe you're not as excited about the same number of views as you were a few months ago. So I think it's always a struggle, but I try to encourage everyone to do this, including Amina, is celebrate every like little milestone. So like she hit 500 subscribers and I was like, girl, are you buying yourself a cake? What are you doing? Because I think it's so important. And that's one of the ways you can combat that feeling of like never being satisfied is genuinely celebrating your wins. So congrats on 1,000 subscribers this year, because that's huge.
It's important to remember that healthy habits aren't easy to get into. Before it becomes a habit, it might be something you just have to force yourself to do, even if you don't feel like it. Absolutely. It's hard. Like, if you're going to do something that you're not used to doing, it's hard to just like all of a sudden be like, oh, I'm a runner now, and I haven't ran since the physical in 5th grade. Like, it's hard to do that. So I feel like being able to force yourself and then recognize like, hey, it's gonna get easier. It's gonna become muscle memory at this point or at some point, and it will be easier. Can help you get through it and be like, okay, it's not gonna always feel like this.
Totally agree. Okay, that was a great discussion, guys. Shall we get on to the next little prompt?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, this is like our last sort of biggish task. We're gonna do just some straight up goal brainstorming. So keeping in mind everything we've talked about up until this point, we want to just start writing down some preliminary goals. So put a few down on your little piece of paper, drop them in the chat, and we're gonna do a little bit of feedback. So we might ask you questions about the goals or encourage you to make them more specific, anything like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to dive into now. And then we'll do our little feedback session.
Yeah. And thinking about like the main, like not the main, well, yes, the main goal, but also the other goals that we were talking about. So the ones that you guys already mentioned in the chat, specifically put like a measurement in there, put how many times you want to do that, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to work off your categories, that'd be great. And we'll take a couple minutes to do this since it's a little more grueling. But yeah, we'll meet you back here in like 2 minutes. Good luck. Oh my God, thank you so much. I had to like pause.
I was like, what is that? You did not, girl. That is so sweet.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
You.
I really appreciate it. Okay, sorry. Back to work, everyone. All right, ladies and gents, shall we get into it? I only had time to brainstorm a couple, but we'll talk about it. Is it okay if I kick us off?
Yes, kick us off.
Okay. So I have 3 very random ones that I set during this time. The first one is to continue to diversify my income outside of a full-time salary. So I'm consistently making money from 5+ income streams by the end of the year.
5+. I like that.
By the end of the year, so I think that that is realistic considering I'm usually averaging 2 or 3 now. So
Yeah.
I think I could continue to expand that. And I'm specifically not setting a dollar amount because to be honest, I feel like that's really hard for me to gauge right now. So we're going to keep it non-dollarly for now.
Non-dollarly.
And then I have finished all stages of the process for my book. So drafting, revising, cover, editing, etc. And get my writing channel monetized. Which I think is doable. So.
Yes, she's growing.
Yes. Okay, we have quite a ton of comments, but
Amina,
share first.
Comments. I can go last.
Okay. A specific goal for my overarching goal is to cook for others more. In undergrad, I consistently had people over to cook for them, and I've really missed it since starting my first post-grad job. I love this. I also have the itch. I watch Maddie Drosbeck. I don't know if any of you guys watch her, but she hosts dinner parties, and it's so inspiring. I really love this idea, and I think when you get into the working world, sometimes it's easy to fall out of hosting and doing things like that. So I think that's awesome.
I admire people who host and cook and stuff like that because I like Thanksgiving just passed and for the first time like I had someone other than my like direct family like eat my food and like it. And honestly, I was like, oh my god, like I kind of want to be like a chef now. Like I kind of love it, but honestly, I hate it so much. But I don't know, my love language is gift giving. So if I give someone something and they enjoy it, instant high.
Yeah.
So honestly, literally admire people so much who enjoy cooking because I feel like that would be so fun.
Yeah. That's so fun. I love that goal for you. I want to fully fund a 6-month emergency fund by June. I want to get a promotion at my job by the end of the year. I want to get a second dog to give my dog the sibling he deserves by December. A second dog, Alana. I love that. The 6-month emergency fund is a great idea. I really want to do something like that eventually too. Wishing you best of luck. Those are such fun goals.
I really like the dog thing. Like if he or she is like lonely, like he'll just have a little sibling and it'll be like super cute.
Yeah, Winston deserves that. I love that. Madison says, plus cooking perfectly ties in community, home, and warmth to me.
For
Yeah,
sure.
your goals are like fitting together perfectly. Like you've got a whole theme going. I love it.
They're aligning.
Paying off some debts, which is building off my goal from this year to pay off some debts, which I actually did. I paid off one student loan, next my car. Congratulations off your student loan. That's awesome. We love paying off debts. We love that feeling of financial freedom.
It takes honestly because like if it's I feel like with debt it's like not some well hopefully it's not something that's like immediate like in your face like you need to take care of this right now. So I feel like it's can be very easy to like let that pass and be like oh later like let me just buy something I want now. So kudos to you for being an adult.
Yeah, we love being an adult. Alana also says, I also want to buy a house by the end of the year. I want to read 1 book per month.
Ooh.
And I want to make date nights, like game nights, a regular part of mine and my husband's weekly routine.
Oh, I love that. I'm
So
getting warmth energy from that one too.
I love wanting to read a book per month. I think I might set the same goal of a book per month. I think that's realistic for my reading habits too. But yeah, we love date nights. I love game nights, honestly. It's like one of my favorite ways to socialize with people. So fun.
Yeah, I agree. Celine, no, you did not.
Thank you, Celine. We love you so much. That's so cute.
Crazy with these super stickers. You guys are so sweet.
Yeah, we appreciate it. That's so sweet. And thank you to you for your super sticker too.
I
Much
know.
love.
That was so sweet. I didn't know we had those like on our lives.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Thank
Yeah.
you guys. Not the Canadian currency.
They called you. I was like, wait, how much is that in USD? But
I don't know the conversion. I gotta be so real.
I remember I checked, but I think it's like the Canadian, like $1 Canadian is like 1.25, I think USD.
Okay,
So,
I believe that.
like, don't quote me. I don't know.
Shout out to Canada.
Shout out to Canada.
Amazing. Oh, I totally forgot. We were supposed to give some feedback on the goals. Honestly, they were all great goals. I don't even know if I have any feedback.
Wait, I have to go back. I don't even. Let me see.
Yeah.
I think maybe just like for the financials, like you don't have to share in the chat, but like having that number in mind and maybe being like, okay, if I want to save X amount by the end of the year, like having like, okay, by 6 months, I want to have that much amount, or 3 months, that much. Like, how much do you want to put in your savings every month, every 2 months, every however to keep yourself going for that? And then I guess with the hosting and husband date nights and all that, like, well, I think you already said with the date nights, if I'm not mistaken, Alana, that you said.
She said a frequency.
Like whenever it's like a certain goal, like how often? I feel like frequency is really important.
I think so too. And even just making a monthly or quarterly breakdown of how are you going to get there, that's something that I want to do more so this year. Also, we totally missed this one, so I just want to bring it up. Further exploring my cycling interest through ClassPass or Cycle Bar or a gym membership. I love that. And I love that you have specific routes that you could do that through. I think that's important. Love that.
See, I feel like I should probably do something for my goal, like for health and fitness and all that stuff, like being able to like pay money, because I feel like that would keep me disciplined. So I don't know what that will look like, but I feel like that would be one way to force myself to be like, yo, you paid for this, do it. And my sister just got into this one gym in our location that they have like regular classes and stuff, and she's really liking it. So I feel like everyone around me is kind of like on this wave, and I'm like, shoot, I feel like I am getting influenced. So,
I think that's a great idea. Honestly, starting to do classes that I was paying for and that I had to show up or I was going to get charged like a $30 no-show fee.
Yeah.
That's the kick in the butt that I needed to go to get to workouts. I think it's so much more reliable than just trying to go to a gym. So I honestly think with any goal, if you're struggling to hold yourself accountable, investing some money, it's a good way to go.
Yeah, because I feel like that's a good natural next step, because then shoot, if you're paying money and still not doing it, then maybe we just got to rethink.
Yeah, maybe you don't want it that bad. Yeah. Maybe it's not the goal you should be setting.
If you hate it that much that you'll let your money go down the drain, then maybe it's just not.
It's not for you. I totally agree. Oh, that's funny.
It should be difficult.
Yeah.
But I would like to know if anyone has any last thoughts that they would like to share, any last tips, any last things you would like to just put out there before we start closing this out, because I can go on for a whole nother hour. But
yeah, and if you guys want to drop maybe what you're most excited for in 2024, I think that could be a sweet way to close out the stream.
Oh yeah, for sure. And also, if you just like came somewhat recently, in the beginning of the stream we talked about like things we learned, so if we want to also talk about things we learned this year or what didn't do so well this year and that you would like to change next year, doesn't have to be the exact goal itself, but just your maybe thought process on goal setting in general, anything like that, go ahead and put it in. Or two, because we're also closing out, if you want us to say anything, because this is our live, so this is the first time we're talking to each other.
Yeah,
anything about anything.
Yeah, we were so excited about this live because we get the chance to actually chat in real time to people that we see in our comments all the time. So huge thank you to you guys just for being here, because this has been so freaking fun to see all of your little icons on our stream. Huge thank you for being here. Mina, should we share like our last quick thoughts, what we're excited for, or any last things?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I'm excited about, I don't know, I'm just grateful to be alive. I'm just grateful that I'm here. So, and I'm excited to see, I feel like one of my favorite things about goal setting is that like I can be able to have something that I physically wrote down, and I can be able to reflect on where I was. I think that's so cool. And that's why I really love journaling as well, because I can see things that like where I was in life and be able to compare it to where I am now. So I'm just excited to see what next year brings, like a whole 12 months, and see if I am, I don't know, just better in my health, better in my other areas that I would like security in, and excited to do YouTube more. I feel like this is the first year that I was consistent with it, and I feel like it was kind of paying off. So I'm excited to see what next year looks like, and if maybe we might do another stream. If you guys want, let us know. But yeah, what about you?
I love that. I think I'm most excited to see where the new areas of my life take me. Specifically, really excited about the book project, seeing how the writing channel evolves, and just like all the new little hobbies and elements of my life I've added in lately. I'm excited to see how they grow.
Yeah.
We're so glad that you enjoyed this stream. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, can you tell us your name, by the way, Bedhead Academic? Because I was like, I don't want to call you that. If that's
yeah, drop your name in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm excited to start back school. I think before I put that I started school this year, but I meant I'm starting school next year, like in January. So it's going to be a huge change, but I'm so ready.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. I think school is honestly fun. Like going back to school and stuff is such an exciting time.
Yeah. I don't know if you mentioned, sorry to interrupt. I don't know if you mentioned what you're going to school for, but I'd love to know.
Yeah. I'd be curious to know too. I do think she mentioned she's going back to school after some time out. So that's kind of fun. My boyfriend's doing the same thing this year. So I'll be witnessing that from the passenger seat. Madison says, I'm most excited to start seeing therapy clients as a grad student. It feels so special to be doing the work I love most.
Oh, I love that. I love the passion.
Madison, that's so special. I absolutely love that. And huge props to you for going into such a meaningful industry. Being able to impact people's lives. That's awesome. So congrats. Alyssa. Okay. Alyssa, thank you. I had a feeling it started with an A, but I didn't want to butcher it. So I'm most excited to buy a house and make it a home next year. I'm also so excited to go to Hawaii in 2024. It will be my husband's first time there, and I can't wait to see it through his eyes.
Oh, that's so special. Take me with you.
Yeah, that's so sweet. So exciting. There's nothing quite like making a house or an apartment into a home. So excited for you. Amazing. Should we plug our little upcoming thing, Amina?
I think we have another comment before.
Oh, okay. Biochemistry, LOL. Hopefully it'll only take a year or two, and then I'm going to medical school.
Ooh, look at you, girl. Congratulations.
That's incredible. Medical school. Good freaking luck. That's awesome, though. Absolutely love that. Okay, well.
Okay, so we're going to be doing another live stream next week, December 10th. We're going to be doing a sleepover stream, which is pretty much going to be just having a sleepover. We're just going to be talking about so many different things. It's going to be like a girl chat, honestly. So there's no structure to it. Me and Brielle are just going to be on live, and we hope you guys come too, because it's so fun to talk to you, and we can talk about things other than goals. We can talk about literally anything. So we really hope you guys show up. I feel like it'll be really fun because I vibed with literally all of you guys, and I think it'll be fun to just like talk, get to know each other, and I feel like it'll be super fun.
Yeah, so if you guys want to join us again, it'll be same day, same time next week. Yeah, feel free to show up in your pajamas, in a robe, in a Christmas hat, whatever you want. It's going to be really fun. And in terms of generally the topics, it'll probably be pretty similar to the types of things you've seen us talk about on our channel. So being in our 20s, friendships, we'll probably talk a little bit about like personal development type stuff. So yeah.
So let us know if you're going to come, because I would love to see you guys. And I feel like it'll be a lot of fun. And same thing, like we talked about this, we never get to really talk in real time. So it'll be fun to like have certain topics and talk about that. Thank you both. Love the wholesome vibes of this. Thank you so much for coming, Madison. I really love talking to you and everyone in the stream. It's been so fun. And thank you guys so much for being like active as well. Me and Brielle were super scared, thinking it would just talking. So OMG, yay! I'm so excited. I love this one so much. Thank you so much for coming. And please tell us how to pronounce your name. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm saying, is it Ninche? I really don't want to like mispronounce anyone's name. So
no. Also,
I hope you're gonna be there. This is so exciting.
Yeah. Alyssa, I do not have a Discord, unfortunately. I'll have to look into that. And thank you, Z, for being here. Awesome that you were just like chilling, observing. And thanks for being here, Alana. We appreciate you. All right, guys. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Here, and hopefully we'll see some of you guys next week.
Best of luck on all your goals. Keep us updated in our
We're
gonna be doing monthly resets forever. So keep us updated in the chat so that we know what your goals are. And we hope to see you guys next week. This is so much fun. Thank you so much for showing up.
Bye, guys.
Bye.